So yeah, we've got quite a lot to get through, so we'll just get straight into the single swap.
Do you want me to start with Dregg?
Yeah, just start with Dregg then.
Just jump on in. So as Snedds was saying there, he gave me Feeling Fine by Dregg, which was released on the 29th of 25
April
2020, so this year, under their record label Epitaph Records, which is pretty big in the kind of punk scene. I think fellow artists or fellow record label artists include the likes of kind of Rancid, Dropkick Murphys. I'm maybe not sure about Dropkick Murphys, but certainly likes of Rancid and what have you. The song itself is approximately 3 minutes and 32 minutes long. Feeling Fine is one part of a 2-song release, or 2-track, as the band have called it, spelled Tutrack. The other song being Freaking Out. Interestingly, 2 songs were released on 100 limited edition cassette tapes, which I believe are probably long gone by now. The 2-song release has been described online by the band on both the Epitaph Records website and elsewhere as a 2-part story that places you in the negative and positive thoughts of the philosophical, overthinking psyche, with both songs addressing issues such as morality, nihilism, religion, death, and what the band have described as the little to no knowledge we have about what being alive really means. So yeah.
Not sure I got any of that from Feeling Fine, but
no, neither did I. The band themselves, as you said, they're a 5-piece band who originally hail from Melbourne, Australia. According to their bio page on the Epitaph Records website, their sound hungrily consumes metal, hardcore and rap, only to heave it up into a colourful rainbow of bombastic brutality and iconoclastic absurdity, lovingly fed to the audience like mother birds. How's that for a sentence? In an interview the band did for Hysteria magazine that I read on the 24th of March 2020, so earlier on this year, the band members cited the likes of Eminem, System of a Down, Killswitch Engage, Marilyn Manson, Notorious B.I.G. and Offspring, amongst others, as some of their major influences. So they've got quite an eclectic taste, and I think, judging from what I've seen and read about them online, I think they are in and of themselves larger than life characters, often wearing weird and wonderful outfits and adopting kind of various different theatrical onstage personas. I've seen quite a few photos of them online, and they're wearing almost... There's one that's one of the guys, I couldn't tell you what he plays in the band, but he's wearing almost kind of it's almost like a kind of Slipknot-esque mask. And there's another guy that kind of reminds me of the guitarist from Limp Bizkit, I think it is. John white face paint, and he's got kind of like black bits kind of underneath his eyes and cheeks.
Wes Borland, that's him too, I think.
Yeah, he kind of reminds me a bit of him. As for the song itself, it kind of opens with this kind of jaunty sounding tin whistle or flute, accompanied with a couple of bars of hand claps before the main part of the song kicks in around the kind of 22-second mark. I was really kind of getting into that bit, like really quite enjoyed it. But yeah, it kind of kicks in with the kind of the main part of the song, which I've described as a kind of distinctively kind of post-hardcore sound, with these kind of Slacker-esque vocals, the opening lyrics of which are: everybody wants to critique the world, but nobody wants to critique themselves. Everybody tells me what to believe, but I didn't ask for your help. This is then immediately preceded by the lead singer screaming, "I'm feeling fine, I've lost my mind," which then becomes a refrain throughout the course of the song. And in keeping with the aforementioned description of these 2 songs being somewhat of a journey into both the positive and negative thoughts of an overthinking and fraught mind, the band takes us on this kind of sprawling adventure into madness that includes kind of traipsing through Area 51 with a loaded gun, and visiting a Buddhist temple. I found it all to be quite tongue-in-cheek, but fun. It's fun. For example, the lyric, "I'm meditating in a Buddhist temple. I leave my Nikes at the door because I'm respectful," and then that's accompanied by this kind of doorbell sound, which I quite enjoyed. For me, I found it kind of very reminiscent of like the kind of Turnstile. There was bits in the song that I would have liked to have seen showcased for a wee bit longer. For example, just that kind of stripped down bass section towards the end of the song on the outro. I would have liked to have heard a wee bit more of that, but it's a kind of minor criticism of an overall really good song. Like I said, I've mentioned it sounding a bit like the likes of kind of Turnstile, but you can certainly see some of the aforementioned influences coming through. Interestingly, I would have said that the outro, and in particular the way that the closing lyric is delivered for My Money, sounded not too similar to the likes of a kind of new metal band.
Yeah.
The likes of kind of Limp Bizkit and what have you. What was your thoughts?
I really like this track a lot, and it's just because it's just quite fun. I mean, any song that opens with what sounds like a recorder playing electricity with hand claps is well, it could go one of two ways, couldn't it? But when you get that kind of thundering, razor sharp guitar riff coming in, and the hand claps kind of getting replaced by like crashing drums, you're on a bit of a winner. So I like this a lot. I mean, that I suppose it's sort of chorus section where the singer sort of screams in a sort of otherworldly kind of psychotic way. Lyrics, "I'm feeling fine, I've lost my mind." Like that part of the song, I could just listen to over and over and over again. It's just so good. It's just completely insane. But I just love it. And there's quite a cool guitar solo in there, and there's a good bit where it kind of harks back to the hand clap intro, but it's got the kind of growling guitar riffs as the guitars kind of prepare for another like all-out attack. They're just sort of sitting grumbling in the background, and then the sort of end where you mentioned there's a bit of new metal thrown in. The vocals are almost Corey Taylor-esque. They've got his same kind of sound almost exactly like Corey Taylor. I think it's fantastic. There's a song that kind of weird sort of fun parts remind me of, which is a song called "Outside the Shell" by Eggmen, which has got like a sort of jaunty whistle tune as part of the opening melody and throughout the song. And that was, I don't know if it was last year or the year before that came out, but it was just like a one-off super group by members of Turnstile and a band called Crime Watch. So just other kind of hardcore bands of that scene. It's just that like that sort of combination of fun and angry music is really cool. So definitely worth checking that song out as well. I think it sounds a bit like Rotting Out as well. I mean, we reviewed that Rotting Out album.
There's
definitely
elements in there that's
well. And this sort of accompanying track, Freaking Out, is a little bit different. It's far more new metal, I would say. I don't like it quite as much for that reason. It's still pretty decent, but the sort of new metal bounce and those kind of tropes and things are far more present on that track. It's still all right. And I think what I've heard from Dregg, their most of their music is going in that direction, that more sort of hard, that more sort of new metal kind of direction with the sort of rapped vocals. Maybe like a bit like bands like Stray from the Path or sort of Ocean Grove, those kind of bands. But their older stuff seems to be far more hardcore orientated. Even their sort of earlier stuff from 2016 is far heavier in terms of that hardcore element. So I think they're pushing into that more fun kind of almost new metal-y kind of scene, which I think we'll have to wait and see how that goes. But on the Feeling Fine, of the songs I've listened to, Feeling Fine is by far comfortably their best song for me. So yeah, it's an 8 or a 9. Feeling Fine, I would say.
I've given it a 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really don't have much more to say on it other than what I've already kind of said. It is good. I enjoyed it. I find it quite hard to stomach their music videos. I kind of watched a few of their music videos and they were just a bit too trippy for me. I was like, oh no, I can't hack this. But yeah, as you said, I think they're a really fun band. You know, they're not afraid of kind of poking fun at themselves. But yeah, definitely one to watch.
Yeah, I mean, I've said I think that Feeling Fine's an 8 or a 9. Freaking Out in comparison is probably a 7. So I much prefer
this one.
I think this is a really good track compared to some of their other stuff, and be excited to see what sort of direction they go with their future music. So cool. Okay, so it was Feeling Fine by Dregg.